So this is LeRenaissance. Let's go ahead and break down the painting and get into some symbology right quick. Like I said, this is Anubis. He is the deity of death, mummification, and the afterlife. He's depicted as a jackal-headed man. He represents justice and the karmic wheel, the wheel of fortune, right? In the tarot deck. Also, he's the enforcer of Ma'at. And those who know the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at, that's where they get the 10 commandments from. Think about it. If Moses was raised in the ways of the Egyptians, of the Kemetic people, that means he grew accustomed to their spiritual systems, the astrology, their mathematics, everything Kemetic. He was privy to it. And it wasn't until he left that he came up with these 10 commandments. Where do you think he got the 10 commandments from? The 42 negative confessions of Ma'at. These were things that were already in practice when Moses was still coming up. So for him to leave Egypt and then magically come up with these 10 commandments, and those 10 commandments sound just like the negative confessions of Ma'at, go look that shit up. It's the same. This is how I know a lot of the stuff that this new religion that came called Christianity, they stole, they rebranded, they remixed our ancient Kemetic practices. And like I said, I'm here to put shit in its proper order. But anyways, he's the enforcer of the 42 laws of Ma'at. So a lot of it is, you know how in 10 commandments they say, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. And then in negative confessions, they say, I have not stolen. I have not killed. So it's holding yourself accountable. That's what the 42 negative confessions is about. It's about accountability, not fear mongering you into what you shouldn't do, even though people do it anyway. So the 42 laws of Ma'at is more about, or the negative confessions is more about your accountability, you taking self-inventory, you going into your shadow self. And that's who Anubis is. He's the shadow of Ra. You understand? Because if you're a bright light and you're shining, you're a luminary, you're a star seed, a star stepper, you're going to cast a big shadow. And guess what's in those shadows? That's where the demons and all of that type of shit is at. Now, when you're looking at Anubis, he's, like I say, he's a jackal-headed deity. He protects the graveyard. He's a guardian, period. You're not allowed access into the afterlife until you come through him. So, according to the 42 laws of Ma'at, it's just like how they set it up in the courtroom. You got your 12 jury members. The judge is Osiris. Anubis is the enforcer. And he's the one that's responsible for the scale, for measuring the scale. Ma'at is the one who, she's Lady Justice. She's the one that's giving you access to go through the duat, they call it the duat, the underworld, to have your heart weighed on the scale. So what that means is, no matter the illusions that the mind can play, because the mind can play tricks, the heart can play tricks too. But when you have pure intention, when you have a clean heart, at the end of it all, because hurt people, we get it. You know what I'm saying? But when you have discernment and you understand that you're here for a divine purpose, that you're not here to perpetuate the things that hurt you. You're here to heal those things so you won't keep that shit going. So that's the point of having your heart lighter than the feather. And what happens is, when it's your time to pass and you're ready to transcend, in order for you to make that rites of passage, your heart has to be weighed on this scale with the ostrich feather. And if those who know, Ma'at has an ostrich feather in her head. So that's her representation right there, to let you know that she's watching over this whole process. In the middle of the scale is the wheel of fortune. You understand? And depending on how you was living is going to determine your outcome, where you go next. You feel me? So if you was on some microwave temporary, I just want things right here and now, and not really planning for your future and understanding consequences and repercussions of the things you do. You know what I mean? And knowing how to take self-assessment, self-inventory. If you don't know how to do that before you get to your deathbed, he's going to be there to enforce that, to make sure you do. That's why the Egyptians, they looked at sleep as a cousin of death. You understand? So what that means is every time you go to bed, that's a form of death. That's why we always say our prayers before we go to bed, and it's important to do your 42 confessions before you go to bed too. You know what I mean? If you into that, if you're really into this science, I'll suggest you try it. You feel me? Because you hold yourself accountable. This is not something that you could do. This is something that you can be like, I haven't done. I haven't wronged my brother. I haven't stolen. I haven't lied on him. I haven't done. You feel me? When you can run through your list and be like, I haven't done none of those things, you'll sleep better at night. I promise you that. Go look up the negative confessions of my eye. You feel me? And there's more of them. But because they dumbed down our ancient spiritual practices for the nature of trying to give it to a primitive people that wasn't really in tune to the science, they only reduced it to 10 and hope that y'all can just follow those and stay on course.